Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss on the topic Landsmaker formula. The topic Landsmaker formula. So what is the Landsmaker formula? So let us consider a convex lens. Suppose this is the convex lens and this is the principal axis of this lens, and here is the optical center. This is the optical center of the lens. So let us consider an object over here in front of the lens. Let us consider an object in front of the lens. So this ray, let us consider one ray which strikes the one surface of the lens. So this ray strikes this surface, that is the surface ABC. So this ray strikes the surface ABC. So another one ray which strikes the surface normally, on the surface ABC. This ray strikes normally. So this ray will not undergo any refraction, but this ray will undergo refraction. So after undergoing refraction, this ray will move somewhat in this direction. So if this is the refractive index N1, and let us consider the refractive index of the lens to be N2. So if N2 is the refractive index of the lens and N1 is the refractive index of the surrounding, so N1 is the rarer medium and N2 is the denser, that is the refractive index N2 is in the denser medium. That means the lens is the denser medium. So after refraction it will move in this direction. So again there is this surface ADC. So let us consider this surface to be ADC. So this ray now will undergo refraction on the surface ADC. So it will move somewhat in this direction. Why? Because if we consider a normal, let us draw a normal on this surface. If this is the normal on this surface, this ray will move away from the normal. And let us consider a normal on this surface. This is the normal on this surface ADC. Let us consider a normal on this surface ABC. So the normal, let us say it to be this one. This is the normal. Suppose this is the normal on this surface. This line is the normal on the surface ABC. So this point we are saying it to be C1, because the normal on any spherical surface always meets the principal axis at the center of curvature. Normal on the spherical surface always meet the principal axis at the center of curvature. In the same way, the normal on the surface ADC will also meet the principal axis on the center of curvature. On the center of curvature of which surface? On the center of curvature of this surface. That is the normal on the surface ADC will meet the principal axis at the center of curvature of this surface. That is the surface ADC. So let us say this point to be C2. This is the center of curvature C2. And the normal on this surface, that is the surface ABC, the normal on this surface ABC will meet the principal axis at the point C1. So this will be the C1. So if this surface, suppose this surface ADC is not present, in that case, suppose let us say this surface ADC surface is not present. In that case, after refraction, this ray after refraction will meet, suppose the principal axis at this point will meet the principal axis at this point. Suppose the surface ADC is not present. In that case, this ray after refraction will meet the principal axis at this point. So let us say this point to be I1. So, and let us say this point to be I. So this ray is one ray, and let us consider another one ray through the principal axis, which is passing along the principal axis. This is one ray, this is another one ray. So this is one ray and this is another one ray. This ray is passing along the principal axis, so it will go undeviated. This ray will go undeviated, that is, it passes through the optical center, it will go undeviated. So this is this ray is this ray, this ray is this ray, and this ray is this ray. This ray is this ray after refraction. So these two rays are meeting at this point. These two rays are meeting at this point. So this will be the image of this object. This will be the, that is, I1 will be the image of the object O. I1 will be the image of the object O when the surface ADC is not present. When the surface ADC is not present, at that time I1 will be the image of the object O, Suppose if the surface ADC is present, in that case this ray, if the surface ADC is present, if the surface ADC is present, in that case, if the surface ADC is present, in that case this ray will suffer another one refraction. This ray will suffer another one refraction. At that time this ray will suffer another one refraction, and it will meet the ray passing along the principal axis at the point I. I am telling it again. This ray after refraction, this ray after refraction will meet the ray passing along the principal axis at the point I. So I will be the final image. I will be the final image of the object O. I will be the final image of the object O. So I1 is the image if the surface ADC is not present. If the surface ADC was not present, then I1 would have been present. That is, I1 will be the image if the surface ADC is not present, and I is the image if the surface ADC is present. That is, both the surfaces are present. So let us now say, this point to be M. Let us say this point to be M. This point we are saying it to be M, and this point we are saying it to be N. So if we see in the diagram, if we use the formula for refraction, in spherical surface, if we use the formula for refraction in spherical surface, we will see that the refractive index of the outer surface is N1, the refractive index of the inner surface is N2. So we are using the formula for refraction in spherical surface. So what was the formula for refraction in spherical surface? It was N2 divided by V minus N1 divided by U. N1 divided by U is equal to N2 minus N1 divided by R. N2 minus N1 divided by R. So N2 is the refractive index of the medium to which the ray went. N2 is the refractive index of the medium to which the ray went, and N1 is the refractive index of the medium from which the ray went. The refractive index of that medium is N1. So N1 is present with the object distance. And N2 is present with the image distance. Suppose this surface ADC is not present. If the surface ADC is not present, at that time we can say, if the surface ADC is not present, at that time this position, that is the position from O, let us say this point to be O dash. The position from O to O dash is U. this is the object. So when only this surface ABC surface is present and this surface is not present, that is the surface ADC is not present, at that time I1 will be the image, I1 will be the image of this object, I1 will be the image of this object. So if we apply the formula for refraction in spherical surfaces, then we can say that N2 divided by V1 minus N1 divided by U. Why? Because V1, we are considering the distance of I1 from O dash, I1 from O dash as V1, because this is not the final image, this is not the final image. The final image is I, the final image is I1 is not the final image, the final image is I1 is not the final image, the final image is I. The distance of O dash from I1, we are considering it to be V1. The distance of O dash from I1, we are considering it to be V1. The distance of O from O dash, we are considering it to be U. That is, it is the object distance, and this is the image distance, which is not the final image. If this is not the final image, we are considering it to be I1. So that's why we are considering the image distance to be V1. So N2 by V1, that is N2 divided by V1, for that is, this is the formula for spherical, we are applying the formula for refraction in spherical surfaces. So which is N2 divided by V1. So N2 divided by V1, because if this surfaces is not present, that time this medium, this as a whole will be one medium. So in that case, N2, below N2 this V1 will be present, below N2 this V1 will be present, below N2 the distance, the image distance from O dash to I1 will be present. That is N2 divided by V1 minus N1 divided by U, minus N1 divided by U will be equal to N2 minus N1 divided by N2 minus N1 divided by we are considering only this surface, we are considering this surface, we are not considering this surface. So that's why if we consider this surface, we'll have to consider the radius of curvature of this surface. If we consider this surface, we will have to consider the radius of curvature of this surface. We will not have to consider the radius of curvature of this surface, because we are not considering this surface, we are considering only this surface. So that's why we will have to consider the radius of curvature of this surface. So that is, the radius of curvature of this surface will be, so this distance, the radius of curvature of this surface will be the distance from O dash to C1. The radius of curvature of this surface will be the distance from O dash to C1, which we can say it to be R1. Let us say it to be R1. So let us say the distance from O dash to C1 to be R1. So N2 minus N1 divided by R1, N2 minus N1 divided by R1. So let us say this to be equation number 1. Let us say this to be equation number 1. So now if we consider this surface, so if we consider this surface, at that time we are not considering this surface, so we are considering now ADC surface. In that case, I1 will be the object, and I will be the image. I1 will be the object and I will be the image. That is, I1 will be the object and I will be the image. That is, I is the real image. I is the real image and I1 is the object. I1 will be the object for this surface ADC surface. For the surface ADC, I1 is the object and I is the image. For the surface ABC, for the previous case, for the surface ABC which we have discussed, O was the object and I1 was the image. O was the object and I1 was the image. Now if we consider the surface ADC, I1 will be the object I1 will be the object and I will be the final image, because I is the final image. So I is the final image and I1 will act as an object. I1 will act as an object for this surface, and finally the image will be produced here. Finally the image will be produced here. So I is the real image, I is the real image, and I1 is the object for this surface. I1 is the object for the surface ADC. So let us now apply the same formula. Let us now apply the same formula for this surface. Let us now apply the same formula, that is the refraction in spherical surfaces formula for this surface, that is for the surface ADC. So if we apply this formula, that is the formula for refraction in spherical surface for the surface ADC, what we will get? We will get this formula. We will get N1 divided by N1 divided by V. What is V? V, we will have to say this distance to be V, that is the distance from O dash to I. The distance from O dash to I, we will say it to be V. Why? Because we will say this distance to be V, that is the distance from O dash to I, we will consider it to be V, because this is the final image, I is the final image. So the distance from O dash to I, we are saying it to be V, that is V is the final image distance. So N1 divided by V, N1 divided by V minus N2 divided by V1, N2 divided by V1, N2 divided by V1, V1, what was V1? V1 was this one. So N2 divided by V1, because this is the object for this surface, but this object is present in this side. This object is present in this side, that is on the side of the refractive index N2, on the side of the refractive index N2. So that's why N2 divided by V1, N2 divided by V1, and N1 divided by V, that is this distance O dash to I distance is V. So this is the final image, this is the final image. So N1 divided by V minus N2 divided by V1 is equal to N1 minus N2, N1 minus N2. This time the distance, this time the radius of curvature that we will have to consider is not this one. The radius of curvature that we will have to consider for this equation is not this one, because we are considering this surface. We are considering this surface. So we will not have to consider this radius of curvature. We will have to consider this radius of curvature, that is the radius of curvature, this one. That is the radius of curvature, from the position O dash to C2. That is the radius of curvature from the position O dash to the position C2. Let us say this radius of curvature to be R2. Let us say this radius of curvature to be R2. That is the distance from O dash to C2 is the radius of curvature for this surface. That is the distance from O dash to C2 is the radius of curvature for this surface ADC. So that's why N1 minus N2 divided by R2. That's why N1 minus N2 divided by R2, because R2 is the radius of curvature for this surface. So N1 divided by V minus N2 divided by V1 is equal to N1 minus N2 divided by R2. So let us say this equation to be equation number 2. Let us say this equation to be equation number 2. So we got two equation. Now let us add those two equation. That is 1 plus 2. If we do 1 plus 2, what we will get? If we do 1 plus 2, these two terms will get cancelled. That is N2 divided by V1 and N2 divided by V1 will get cancelled, because this is minus and this is in plus. So what we will get finally? We will get N1 divided by V. Finally we will get N1 divided by V. I am directly writing the equation which we got on adding 1 plus 2. That is, these two terms will get cancelled. These two terms will get cancelled. So finally what will be present? N1 divided by V minus N1 divided by U is equal to N1 divided by V minus N1 divided by U is equal to, now we will write N2 minus N1. We will write this term N2 minus N1 in bracket. And see, this term can also be written as minus of n2 minus n1 divided by r2. This term can also be written as minus of n2 minus n1 divided by r2. So that's why if this is minus of n2 minus n1 divided by r2, so if we take n2 minus n1 from both terms, if we take n2 minus n1 common from both terms, so finally we took n2 minus n1 common from both terms. So what we will get? We will get 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, that is n1 divided by v minus n1 divided by u is equal to n2 minus n1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So this implies, so if you take n1 as common, because both terms has n1, so we will take n1 as common. So finally what we will get? 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to n2 minus n1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2 So this is the equation from this equation. So I am rubbing this portion. I'll write over here. From below I am writing over here to get the final equation. So now let us take this term to the right hand side. So what we will get? 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to n2 divided by n1 minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Why? Because we are taking this term to this side. So finally if we take this term to this side, it will come below, it will come as denominator. So we are multiplying the denominator with these two terms. So it will be what? n2 divided by n1 minus 1, because in numerator there is n1, if in denominator also there will be n1, so these two terms will get cancelled and finally there will be 1. So n2 minus n1 minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So this can be written as, see now, this is the formula for lengths. So what can we write instead of this? Because 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f for lengths. So we can write in place of these as 1 by f. We can write in place of this as 1 by f. So this will be equal to, I am drawing this portion now. This will be equal to 1 by f is equal to, so now if n1 that is the refractive index, if n1, so if this medium, so if the outer medium is air, let us say this outer medium, that is the medium outside the lens, is air. So in that case the refractive index of n1 will be equal to 1, that is n1 will be equal to 1. If this medium is air, that is if the medium where the refractive index n1 is present, that medium is air, in that case n1 will be equal to 1. So in that case we can directly consider n2 to be, and in that case we can directly consider n2 to be n. So what will be present here finally? N divided by 1 minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Okay, so this is r2. So this can be written as 1 by f is equal to n minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So this is the final required equation. Which is called as the Lance-Mekker formula, which is the equation for Lance-Mekker formula, which is an important derivation. So this was the Lance-Mekker formula derivation for convex lens. So thank you students.